Hello, everyone. This is Kenny. Just wanted to reflect on a few more things, a few more of the videos that we've had over the past few days. It seems like every 3 days I'll do a reflection video or something. I guess just whenever I feel like I want to share ideas, summarize thoughts and stuff that I've had after doing a few videos. um, one thing is that yesterday I was on Omegle and came across this girl who was 13. She was a black girl. Her name is Akira from she called it ghetto Chicago, um, and or at least that it's considered that, right? Um, and She said that her Zoom wasn't working, but I wanted to relay some of her story. Uh, because she just was so interesting. And Akira, you have my email, so if you want to come on and have a conversation, like, please, it'd be wonderful to have you and hear your thoughts and everything. But yeah, she feels like she's had to teach herself a lot, in terms of just like socially, and actually, I kind of I want to share I want to share your story, Akira, but I also feel really uncomfortable sharing it because I am not you. I am so completely divorced from that world. But I guess the thing that most resonated with me about your story, maybe I could communicate in that way, is that Akira is one of 8 kids. And one thing that she talked about a lot was how darkly skinned um, her dad is, right? That he has a very dark complexion, and that 2 of her siblings are of that same complexion, and that 5 of her other siblings and herself are more have more of a complexion similar to her mom, and that her dad also has worked hard and has a lot of jewelry and everything, and has worked hard to become the man he is, and that he and that Akira was saying that cops tend to look at him differently and think, oh, he may have stolen those things, he may have, um, which is just ridiculous, um, abysmal, really, and it makes me mad. So that was one part of your story that really hit me, Kira. I think she's subscribed to the channel. Um, and Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to hearing more stories from people of very diverse backgrounds, especially urban centers. And um, I talked to, if you guys haven't watched the video of Mohammed, that was fascinating, right? Because and I shared this with Akira too, is that Mohammed mentioned he's from Sweden. He's a 20-year-old black guy from Sweden, and he mentioned that he has never feared the police there. I was stunned. So, what is the difference between the police culture in America versus the police culture in Sweden or Scandinavian countries, or is that, at least in Sweden, why are people here so much more fearful, and why are the police so much more aggressive? Um, could they both be? They may both be an issue. That both of those things may be an issue. That we have fear of the police here, and then that may also cycle into the aggressive behavior of the police, and yeah, yeah, the demilitarization of the police state here is something that has come up in a few conversations, and is maybe something that we should consider and talk about more on this channel. um, oh, I came across a guy um, on Omega with a Confederate flag in the background, and I really wanted to talk to him. Um, but it was really hard to, I brought up, hey, I'm starting a YouTube channel and I'm interested in hearing conversations or hearing different viewpoints um, of people who, come from a very different background from me, and you do. And he was like, and then he switched. And I was thinking, what? Like, I have to be able, how can we better communicate? How can we communicate in a way where we are able to start an actual conversation with someone who lives a very different life from us? And in this case, this guy with a Confederate flag, he probably speaks a very different kind of language than I do. Whereas I'm very direct and straightforward and like, hey, like this is what I want to do. Maybe leaning back and seeming less interested is a way to maybe engage in more relaxed conversations with people that um, otherwise would not listen or feel threatened or just unengaged, disengaged from from me. So that's all to say that I think moving forward, I'm going to try to, for people who like, if there are Confederate flags in the background, I do want to hear their point of view because I just want to learn. Like, I want to see what their thoughts are. Um, eh, and So maybe I'll just like lean back um, and try to, I don't know. I mean, hopefully the intention of me wanting to just connect and listen will be enough. That's my hope. I'm still, I mean, this is all very half baked ideas, but something that's developing here for me. Oh yeah. Um, so this is something that I've had some issue with for a long time since I was in New York. I was in New York for 5 years, and currently I'm in Florida, right? But in New York, and I just wonder. People say that they're allies, right? Like white people say that they're allies for Black Lives Matter and for people of color. Um, well, first of all, I like whenever I'm in conversation with someone, if I say like a BIPOC person, I feel like I sound like a pretentious piece of shit. Like, just say like a black person or a person of color. BIPOC is just so formal in conversation. I just do not. It just feels pretentious. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I think just talking in acronyms is uh, just seems a little distanced, disconnected from humanity and human connection. Anyway, but whenever thinking about like how to be the best ally possible um, in this time, I really think it comes down to how much are you risking to do the right thing. I think that people go out and I think look, I think going out and protesting is really important. I think it brings attention to issues and brings things to the news and attracts more media attention, which is important, right? It sustains movements, but I think after all of the dust has settled, then it's really time, right? Like now the media, there isn't as much media attention on the protests anymore. Things have calmed down now. I mean, I don't know, I'm not on social media, but I think after the dust has settled, we have to ask ourselves, at least as allies or just as anyone. This applies to, I mean, I'm talking as a white ally, but this applies to anyone. How much are you risking and putting your neck on the line for the cause, for the principle that you care about? If you're not risking anything, what do you think you could possibly do to change things? Like, yeah. So I, for instance, well, I'm kind of nervous to talk about this, but I have to risk it. um, yeah, I am part of kind of an initiative here down in Florida to bring justice to the Oslo Rep Theater, which has been called out as being a racist institution, and which it is. And it is so because it has not hired black, indigenous artists, artists of color in the last 20 years. Um, and so, I guess I didn't realize it. Well, I think I did. That I put my neck out on the line and I did a lot of independent research for the group. And I was actually called out for it by one of the administrators, that I was not straightforward with her, in terms of my transparency and doing the research. Um, and so I've jeopardized my reputation at the theater, and I may perhaps not get a good casting from it, because that's how the institution works. I think is that if you don't do well, or if you don't kind of play by the rules of the theater of the business, then you may get crappy casting. And that's it's all political, man. You know, if you don't play by the rules, you get burned. So for me, I think the thing that matters the most is like I've been talking about, bringing people together, learning different perspectives, and speaking truth to power. And slowly but surely, we're doing it. Okay. So yeah, put your neck out on the line to do the right thing. Risk something. Okay. And then in terms of all the other these interviews, I'm realizing that I'm not listening as best as I can. I think I have an idea of what a person is talking about or their interests, and I ask questions based on their what I think their interests are, um, instead of reacting to what's actually being said. For instance, William, when I was talking to Aaron and William said, and I wish that I had asked him more about this. Is he said, "Oh yeah, like I'm hoping that I can continue to act or I can continue to do this." And I veered the conversation away towards social justice issues instead of just asking him like, "Oh, like why are you like what is it that is making you hesitant about continuing to go into this field of work, or like what is something making you nervous? Like how has your experience been so far? Like are you questioning your motivations, or are you questioning your interests, or like I that those would have been much better questions, instead of just like wanting to jump on social justice issues and trying to figure out how to save the world. First we have to connect to people. I'm convinced first we have to connect to people and learn about them and listen to who they actually are and then talk about the issues. That is the key to building bridges. And so I'd like to try to continue to do that a little more effectively. Shout out to Steph Foster for that pro bono interview for the Enneagram. I absolutely love that. And she sent me several texts afterwards, that have also been really helpful for me in my process of self discovery and self realization and self betterment stuff. So, and also, yeah, I'm looking to kind of get more older voices in here. Everyone, like the last few, have been 18 or younger. Well, Mohammed was 20, but everyone else has been younger. Today, I'm doing an interview of my grandma, which I'm excited about. That's a completely different world than everyone else that I've talked to. But I think that Omegle just has a lot of young people on it, or older people who like jacking off. So, I'd prefer to talk to a young person who wants to talk instead of to an old guy who just wants to jack off to, you know. If I have to hear that I look like Keanu Reeves one more time, though, I will, yeah. Eh, Keanu Reeves and Markiplier. I'm like, who's Markiplier? I looked him up. He has like 8 million subscribers. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, maybe one day, hopefully. Um, but so anyway, I'm looking to get some older perspectives on here. And actually, if any of you watching have any parents who are outspoken or who you think may be interested, I would love to interview your parents or your grandparents on their perspectives of things. Um, yeah, so you have my email. If you don't have my email, you can go to my website and contact me through my contact page on my website, kennyfedorko.com. And yeah, so send your parents over. I would love to talk to them and hear what their thoughts are on the current state of affairs and on who they are and what makes them them, you know? So thanks, guys. I appreciate you. I love you and keep spreading the love. And remember, love, spreading love is not, it's not a light thing, you know? You have to put your heart out on the line. You have to be vulnerable. And to be vulnerable, you have to tell specific stories and be very direct. So keep being direct, keep being loving, and keep building bridges. Okay, I'll talk to you soon, all. Bye.